In the 7th year of my secret crush on my childhood best friend, encouraged by my best friend, I carried flowers and a cake on an overnight train to confess my feelings to him. But when I arrived at the bustling basketball court, I found them kissing. My childhood friend, Tyler, had his arm around my best friend, Haley. He looked at me with cold indifference and asked, "What are you doing here? Can't you see I'm busy?" I stood there, disheveled from the travel, about to explain myself, when his roommate chuckled from the sidelines. "My girlfriend came to bring me a cake. What's it to you?" When I found the basketball court with the cake in hand, Tyler had Haley pinned against the railing, kissing her. Haley froze for a split second, then wrapped her arms around Tyler, deepening the kiss. The weather was scorching. Standing outside the court, lightheaded from the overnight train ride, I felt like the cheers around me were piercing my eardrums. We just bet on whether Tyler could seal the deal with Haley. They've been flirting for so long. It's about time they got together. Pay up, pay up. Hearing this, the strength drained from my arms holding the flowers and cake. On my phone was the text Haley had just sent me. "Tyler is at the basketball court. Come confess now." The sky turned overcast, and the wind picked up, fighting back embarrassment and heartbreak. I turned to run away. Behind me, I heard Haley's anxious voice. She sounded like she was about to cry. "Annie, it's not like that. Let me explain." I was exhausted and aggrieved after traveling all night. I didn't want to waste energy figuring out why Haley would urge me to confess on the very day she was kissing the guy I liked. But she grabbed the hem of my shirt. Haley's usually rosy cheeks were pale. She flusteredly pushed Tyler toward me, her voice trembling with suppressed grievance. "Annie, let Tyler talk to you." Tyler grabbed Haley's hand, stopping her. He asked coolly, "Stop messing around. Why are you so eager to give your boyfriend away?" Haley stubbornly held on to me, refusing to let go, but she didn't pull her hand out of Tyler's grip, either. The scene froze in an awkward standoff. Seeing Haley's tears, Tyler's eyes darkened. He turned his anger on me. "Who told you to come? Can't you see I'm busy?" I had traveled a day and a night, my heart filled with nervous anticipation, staying awake the whole trip, only to be met with a cold order to leave. The words I wanted to say stuck in my throat. I shook off Haley's hand, ready to slink away in humiliation, when a calm, indifferent voice spoke up from nearby. "I told her to come. Is there a problem?" A tall figure appeared not far away. He lazily lifted his eyelids and looked at me. "You even got the person wrong when delivering a gift. Come here." I never expected to see Eric again in a situation like this. The last time we met was 3 years ago. Eric was the valedictorian giving a speech at our school. When I went to hand him the trophy, I tripped on the red carpet and sent both myself and the trophy flying. Later, he and Tyler went to the same university and became roommates. It seemed every time we met, I was making a fool of myself. Tyler looked annoyed. "Eric, you don't need to get involved. Let her go back where she came from." Eric smiled lightly. "Are you misunderstanding something? My girlfriend came to bring me cake. What's it to you?" Because of that sentence, that night, I appeared at Tyler's birthday party as Eric's girlfriend. The atmosphere was subtle. Haley kept glancing at me, often forgetting to eat. "Why are you looking at her?" Tyler frowned. "Eat more. Don't be afraid. No one can bully you." The emotions I had suppressed for so long finally exploded. I stared straight at Tyler. "Make it clear. How exactly am I bullying her?" Tyler's face darkened, but he didn't speak. I turned to Haley. "Are you afraid of me? Did you do something to wrong me?" Haley shook her head. "No." Eric handed me a glass of watermelon juice and said casually, "If you're so timid, don't bring her out in public." He grabbed a handful of pistachios. "Peel them gently. Don't scare anyone to death." Pfft. Several people around us couldn't hold back their laughter. Haley's face turned ugly, and she used the restroom as an excuse to run out. Halfway through the party, tired and sleepy, I planned to leave early. I used the moment Eric stepped out to take a call to follow him. I wanted to thank him. I had traveled thousands of miles only to end up in the most awkward, helpless situation, and he had saved me. The hallway was dimly lit. Eric was on the phone at the end of the corridor. His cool voice was lowered slightly, echoing off the walls. I learned then that he was the student body president and had pushed back other engagements to attend this party tonight. I stood a few steps away, waiting for him to finish. Eric saw me, paused, and said into the phone, "I'll call you back." He hung up and turned to me. "What's wrong?" "Tonight, thank you." Eric leaned against the windowsill, staring at me quietly. Just as I thought I had something on my face, he suddenly asked, "Do you want to go to the amusement park tomorrow?" "With me? Who else?" Eric asked with a faint smile. "Didn't you post on your timeline that you wanted to go? You can't have come all this way for nothing." The wind outside the window ruffled his hair, and the hem of his white shirt swayed. He looked at me so lazily, yet it made the grievance I had tried so hard to suppress bubble up again. I lowered my head abruptly and wiped the corners of my eyes. Thank you, then. I'll treat you to dinner tomorrow. Eric didn't speak for a long time. Just as I thought he was going to mock me for being a crybaby, he suddenly drawled, "Sure, girlfriend." Eric left early due to student council matters. When I came out of the restroom, I ran into Haley at the door. There was a bite mark on her lip, and as soon as she saw me, tears started falling. "I'm sorry, Annie. I didn't expect things to turn out this way. Can you forgive me?" I only felt disgusted. I swatted her hand away and took out my phone. "How much was the hotel? I'll transfer the money to you." Haley froze. "Annie, I'm sorry. I forgot to book the hotel for you." Her voice sounded muffled, as if underwater. I thought I had heard wrong. Was this really the best friend I had treated with all my heart? She had insisted on booking the hotel for me, telling me just to buy the train ticket. And now this. "Haley, you did this on purpose, didn't you?" Haley looked troubled. "I'm sorry. All the rooms near the school were booked, and with Tyler pursuing me so relentlessly, I just forgot. Why don't you stay in my dorm tonight?" I didn't want to talk to her anymore and turned to leave. Haley grabbed me. "Annie, I forgot to tell you. Eric has a girl he likes. He just did that to help you out of a tight spot. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm afraid you'll get hurt again." Looking at her act of feigned concern, I felt a sudden wave of irritation and shook off her hand. Haley, caught off guard, fell weakly and heavily to the ground. I forced a sarcastic smile. "Are you a mind reader? You know what Eric thinks." Haley lowered her head, silent, but her breathing suddenly became heavy. Tyler rushed out from somewhere, shoved me hard, and scooped the limp Haley into his arms. He said coldly, "Did the cake you brought have mangoes in it?" Seeing me stare at him coldly, Tyler raged, "Don't you know Haley is allergic to mangoes? Are you trying to kill her?" At that moment, I was shocked to see Haley's lips turning purple. I knew she was allergic to mangoes, but Haley had specifically asked me to put mangoes in it. She had said, "Tyler loves mangoes the most." At 1 a.m., Haley was rushed to the hospital next door. The doctor sighed. "Why eat it if you know you're allergic? Do you have a death wish?" Tyler turned abruptly, his face dark as he looked at me standing to the side. "Haley is lying in there. Are you satisfied?" I took a deep breath and asked, "Tyler, do you not have a brain?" Haley knew there were mangoes in it. If she couldn't control her own mouth, what does that have to do with me? Tyler's gaze grew even colder. "Annie, stop acting. Don't think I don't know why you came this time. Does seeing us together hurt you that much? Enough to deliberately buy a cake with mangoes to hurt her." Looking at this person who couldn't distinguish right from wrong, in that instant, I realized clearly, I regretted it. When Tyler used to stay after school to tutor me in math, encouraged me to apply to the same university, and joked about what he'd do without me, I shouldn't have thought he liked me. I hadn't slept for a day and a night. The heavy exhaustion made my heart palpitate. I closed my eyes to steady myself, took out my phone, and unhesitatingly dialed 911. Just as it was about to connect, Tyler snatched my phone and smashed it on the ground. "Enough. How long are you going to keep making a scene?" I looked at the shattered phone on the floor, slowly squatted down, and picked up the pieces. Then, I threw them all at Tyler's face. I may have secretly loved him for 7 years, but that didn't mean I had no dignity. "Doctor, please call the police for me." I had reached my limit. My vision was going black in patches. As I fell backward, a pair of hands steadied me. The scent of clean soap and mint filled my nose. Eric's clear, cool voice came from above. "She didn't eat much for dinner. It might be hypoglycemia. Doctor, please take a look at her." Through my blurred consciousness, I heard the sound of dialing. Eric's voice drifted over, faint but distinct. "Hello, I'd like to report an incident." After the doctor gave me some glucose, I felt better. Eric had finished his call and was staring indifferently at Haley. Haley shrank guiltily into Tyler's arms. I just tasted a tiny bit. Besides, the cake was sitting there. It was meant to be eaten," Eric said expressionlessly. "But the doctor said it didn't look like you just ate a tiny bit. It's better to wait for the surveillance footage and explain it clearly in front of the police." Back in high school, I knew Haley was terrified of trouble. She'd walk stiffly just seeing a police officer on the street. She always hid behind me. When the police arrived, Haley was so scared she didn't dare move. I explained the sequence of events to the police in detail, pointing at the video where she ate 3 pieces of cake. The officer asked, "You knew you were allergic, yet you ate 3 pieces. You couldn't taste such large chunks of mango filling." Haley's face turned pale with fright. She could only apologize repeatedly. I'm sorry, I was just greedy. I won't do it again. She lowered her head helplessly, silently shedding tears. Tyler softened again. Alright, just fix the gluttony habit next time. His attitude was night and day compared to when he was yelling at me earlier. Haley's eyes reddened, ready to seek comfort from Tyler, but I took Eric's phone and showed Tyler a QR code. Haley ate my cake, and you smashed my phone, in front of the police and the doctor. Pay up. Eric, suddenly involved, chimed in. I can testify. My girlfriend has indeed suffered financial loss. Tyler's face looked awful. Annie, you're counting pennies with me. You told me to get lost. Should I thank you for smashing my phone too? With the police present, Tyler transferred the money quickly, but when he saw Eric helping me leave, his expression darkened abruptly. After leaving the hospital, I walked along the alleyway for a long time, faster and faster. Only when I turned a corner and saw an empty street did I squat down and bury my face in my knees. The summer night was silent. A sea of purple lilac spilled over the mottled iron fence of an old apartment complex. A breeze blew, scattering petals. The street lights were dim. There were only two shadows on the ground, me, squatting, and Eric, standing. Eric said, "It's okay, cry, I'll keep your secret." The emotions suppressed all day finally collapsed. My sobs passed through the lilac vines, echoing in the empty street corner. Before coming, I had prepared myself. Being rejected wouldn't be the end of the world. At least I had Haley. On the way here, I chatted excitedly with Haley, from food to tourist spots, even discussing which bar we'd go to if the confession failed. But in just one day, I experienced Tyler's humiliation and Haley's betrayal. I couldn't hold it together anymore. Eric leaned against the wall not far behind me, perfectly blocking me from view, allowing me to hide my messy face. After standing for a while, I stood up with swollen eyes. "Thank you for today." Eric didn't look at my eyes. He stared at his phone and gave a careless hum. "There are 3 hours until dawn. Get some sleep. Let's move the amusement park to the day after tomorrow." "Okay." I croaked out an okay. Just then, a police car drove by and stopped in front of us. The window rolled down, and the person inside greeted Eric familiarly. "Eric, is this your friend?" Eric nodded. "She couldn't book a hotel. Aunt Karen said she could stay at her place tonight. Could you give her a ride?" "Don't worry, hop in." Seeing me staring at him in a daze, Eric explained lightly, "I was afraid you wouldn't feel safe, so I asked my aunt to give you a ride." I realized then, he was afraid I wouldn't trust him, so he found a relative who was a police officer to take me somewhere reliable for the night. I opened my mouth, realizing I had said thank you too many times tonight, so I changed it. "The day after tomorrow, I'll treat you to dinner." Eric smiled, seeming to know what I was thinking. "You said that already too." Seeing my embarrassment, he opened the door for me. "Alright, see you the day after tomorrow." The door closed. Before I could say goodbye, Eric had already turned into a dark silhouette in the receding scenery. I slept soundly for a full day and night at Aunt Karen's, who lived in the family compound next to the police station. When I opened my eyes, I saw a message from Eric. "Call me when you wake up." I stared blankly for a moment, then jumped up and scrambled to get dressed. I had agreed to go to the amusement park with Eric and treat him to dinner. I was going to be late. When I rushed to the amusement park, panting, Eric was sitting on a roadside bench. His long legs were stretched out casually. He looked lazy and relaxed. The sunlight was perfect, filtering through the trees and falling on him like scattered gold. I ran up, out of breath. "When did you get here?" Eric placed a sun hat on my head, his voice smiling. "Just now. Not early, not late, girlfriend." He naturally took my hand. I stiffened all over. Eric leaned close and whispered, "Don't look back. Tyler is behind us." Sure enough, I heard Haley's voice and silently cursed my luck. Why did I run into these two annoying people everywhere? So I actively leaned closer to Eric, pressing against his arm. "Let's go to the haunted house." Haley was timid and usually avoided such places, but when the staff grouped us, I saw Haley leading Tyler in. "Annie, I called you just now. You didn't hear me." Tyler's gaze paused on my hand holding Eric's, then looked away coldly. He said to Eric, "Team up." Eric looked at me. I said, "I have no objection." Eric, of course, had no objection either, so the four of us were assigned to the same path. Entering the tunnel, the lights dimmed. Haley shrank into Tyler's arms in fear. "Tyler, I'm so scared." Actually, I was scared too, but out of pride, I couldn't cling too closely to Eric. I just held his hand tightly, walking quickly. Sensing my palm sweating slightly, Eric squeezed my hand. "Slow down." "Well, get out." I nodded, but the cold wind blowing on my back made me involuntarily speed up. Suddenly, A scream from Haley came from a corner. I shuddered. Eric yanked me back into his arms. The surrounding chill vanished, replaced by the warmth of Eric's body. Shoo! His warm breath grazed my ear. His lips seemed to touch me. The ghost is over there. You almost ran into him. Over there. Haley was crying from fear. I abandoned all reserve, hugging Eric's waist tightly, whispering, "Don't let him come over. Please, don't let him come over." Eric seemed to chuckle. Okay. The sound of chains seemed to be approaching behind me. Eric pressed my head into his chest and smiled at the NPC. Bro, cut us some slack. Yeah, my girlfriend is timid. The actor let out a disgruntled roar and dragged his chains away, muttering. After the NPC left, Eric was still holding me. Our heartbeats echoed each other, mixed with low, soft breathing. I realized then that things were getting a bit intimate. Can you still walk? Eric's voice was low, almost a whisper. My face felt hot. As I prepared to let go, "I'm sorry, Eric tightened his grip. Nothing to be sorry about. That sentence landed softly on my heart like a feather. His palm suddenly felt burning hot. I looked up and met Tyler's gaze from the side. It was obscure and hard to read. Then, he looked away. For the rest of the way, the NPCs didn't bother us. While Haley screamed frequently, Eric led me out safely, because I had gotten some dust on my arm. I went to the restroom to clean up. Haley followed me in. Annie, why have you been ignoring me? Under the bright lights of the restroom, I noticed she had dressed up carefully today, wearing a cute dress suitable for photos, looking at me with pitiful eyes. I dried my hands and turned to leave. Haley suddenly raised her voice. Annie, did you ever truly consider me a friend? I thought you would wish us well. That struck a nerve. I turned around and asked sarcastically, Haley, where is your brain? Haley seemed triggered. I know you had a crush on Tyler, but who told you not to get into the same university as us? I watched Tyler for you every day. I can catch feelings too. Then why did you urge me to confess? Because I couldn't suppress my feelings anymore. I didn't intend to be with him, but he suddenly kissed me. You know I can't refuse. Enough. I cut her off. You claim innocence. You're weak and afraid of trouble. You can't refuse a confession. You steal food because of greed but dare not admit it. And in the end, I bear the consequences. What face do you have to ask me to treat you as a friend? Haley stared wide-eyed, rims red, silent. Tyler's voice came from outside. Haley, are you done? Haley wiped her tears and whispered, it's all my fault. I wronged everyone. I'll just break up with him. Okay. With that, she pushed open the door and ran out without looking back. Tyler only heard the last sentence. He grabbed me abruptly, pinching me painfully. What did you say to Haley? Nothing, just that we're no longer friends. Tyler laughed in anger. Annie, are you childish? You used your friendship to force her to break up with me. I didn't hold a knife to her throat, and am not her mother. If she wants to break up with you, it means you're not charming enough. It has nothing to do with me. Tyler seemed unusually aggressive today, dragging me outside. If I can't find her, you're not hanging around either. Are you sick? I bought a ticket to get in. You want to kick me out? I'll call the police. Annie, who do you think you are? His face went completely cold, disrupting my life. Chasing away my girlfriendo, I not even have the right to ask you to leave me alone. He dragged me in front of the carousel, pointing at people not far away. He said, see that? That is Eric's real girlfriend. I saw Eric standing in the dappled sunlight. A girl in a school uniform skirt jumped off the carousel, snatching the cola Eric bought for me with a grin. Eric just looked resigned. Tyler took out his phone and pulled up his chat history with Eric. How do you think he knew you had nowhere to stay that night? I looked at the chat. Tyler, bro, my girlfriend is here. I can't get away. Take care of Annie for me. She has nowhere to stay tonight. Eric replied. Okay. Tyler put away his phone. Now, do you still think Eric likes you? You staying here just adds trouble for all of us. I admitted to myself that I wasn't brave enough in love. Otherwise, I wouldn't have hidden a crush for 7 years. I didn't want to go through that again. So, ignoring Tyler's mockery, I walked toward Eric. Eric spotted me from a few steps away. The girl in front of him was talking excitedly. Eric pushed her head down, hiding her behind his back. Who is she? Eric pursed his lips. Before he could speak, the girl behind him popped out. Hi, I'm Eric's sister. You must be my sister-in-law. Right. The emotions I had been brewing suddenly vanished. Only confusion remained. Biological. Sister. Eric expressionlessly pushed the girl away. Didn't you say your friends were waiting for you? Stay away from us. Oh, for some reason. Eric seemed a bit serious. The girl walked 2 steps, then suddenly darted back, speaking like a machine gun. Are you Annie? My brother likes you so much. He still keeps the yearbook page you wrote for him when you graduated from MPH. Eric quickly covered her mouth. Shut up, get lost. She was tossed 2 meters away but still shouted sister-in-law at me. Eric and I stood there awkwardly. The carousel started turning again. Laughter filled the air. I felt Eric's gaze on my face. His tone was faint. She has no filter. Don't take what she says to heart. I stared at my toes and hummed. Then my drink. She extorted it from me. I'll buy you a new one. Is the yearbook thing true? Eric choked, then actively took my hand, responding coolly, yes, the yearbook thing. I remembered Eric's yearbook vividly. Before graduation, the class monitor walked in holding a stack of grid paper. Eric's. Everyone write a graduation message if you have time. So weird. Such an aloof person actually likes this stuff. But he prepared small gifts. Anyone who fills it out can come to me to get one. I wasn't close to Eric back then. Amid the monitor's rambling, I wrote happy graduation, bright future and signed my name at the bottom. I received Eric's gift. It was a keychain I really liked at the time. Thinking of this, I smiled. Yearbooks are for little kids. Why use that in high school? After all, smartphones had been common for a long time by then. The wind rustled the lavender by the roadside. The scent was rich and confusing. Eric's voice melted into the wind. For your name. I didn't hear clearly. For what? Eric didn't answer. He was smiling. So I smiled too. The sun set. The central plaza was full of people. It was said there would be grand fireworks after dark. I picked a spot with a great view and pulled Eric down to sit on the ground. Night fell. The brilliant sunset was gradually replaced by ink-black darkness. The rising and falling voices around us, mixed with the slight wind and insect chirps, propped up this noisy midsummer night. I received a call from Haley. She cried on the phone, asking me, "Can you forgive me, Annie? I know I wronged you. If you don't forgive me, I won't get back together with Tyler." Okay. Compared to the anger I felt when I first learned of my best friend's betrayal, I was much calmer now. Are you guilt-tripping me? If I don't agree, I become the sinner preventing your love. I become the selfish one. Is that it? Only Haley's sobbing remained on the other end. She really thought that way. I smiled, a sense of powerlessness in my voice. Haley, it's just a man. If you like him, take him. But you shouldn't have lied to me and played me. I can never forgive that. Do you understand? I hung up. Eric handed me a peeled orange. It's starting. As the music began, a brilliant firework exploded in the night sky. The huge castle stood in the twilight, dazzling. This bitter secret crush that spanned 7 years and occupied my entire youth finally came to an end tonight. I turned my head and found Eric looking down at me. There was a leaf on his forehead. The crowd was roaring, the music deafening. If I spoke now, he probably wouldn't hear me. Right. So I pointed to my own forehead. Eric paused. As the music reached its finale, a dozen grand fireworks flew into the sky. Bang! Under the sky full of light, Eric lowered his head and kissed my forehead. A strange tingling sensation spread from my forehead to my entire body, freezing me instantly. The surroundings darkened. The street lamps lit up again. The cheerful music of the carousel in the distance filled my ears again. The audience around us stood up. Only Eric and I didn't move. Is Tyler behind us? I felt Eric's slightly burning gaze. Keeping my head down, not daring to move, Eric smiled. He's not. My heart trembled violently. Then you. If he's not here, can I not kiss you? While Eric went to buy ice cream, I sat on a nearby bench, restless. To be honest, I had never been in a relationship. The closest contact I had with a boy was sitting next to Tyler when he tutored me, our knees or hands accidentally touching. Tonight's questions were clearly advanced material. I was looking down, posting on a forum asking what to do in this situation, when someone suddenly stood in front of me. Are you really together? Tyler's tone was low. This was the precursor to his anger. Does it concern you? How does it not concern me? Your parents know you came to see me. I have to be responsible for your safety. Seeing I didn't speak, he sighed. Annie, can you stop being so willful? You can't just date anyone. Be good. Go home. I looked at him expressionlessly. I know it can't be just anyone. Eric isn't anyone. Tyler's face darkened. But you clearly. I saw the unwillingness in his eyes. I asked back. I clearly what? I clearly liked you for 7 years. And now I like someone else. You think that shouldn't happen. This was the first time I had laid it all out in front of Tyler. Tyler's expression froze visibly. His lips pressed tight. Silent. I stood up. So how do you think I should be, seeing you and Haley together? Accept your impatience like a coward and leave quietly. Tyler said stiffly. No, Annie, if you come here for grad school, I can consider being with you. I laughed. He knew perfectly well my major had better prospects in the north. What about Haley? What is your attitude toward her? Tyler retorted. What do you think? If I liked her, I would have made a move long ago. Why wait until the day you came? He didn't see the touched expression he expected on my face. I raised my hand and slapped him cleanly. Tyler was stunned, holding his face. "You." Slap. Another slap. Just as I raised my hand for a third, Haley rushed out from somewhere, blocking Tyler. She shrank back in fear, her voice trembling as she accused me. "Annie, haven't you hit him enough? He's my boyfriend now. What right do you have to hit him?" Looking at the couple in front of me, I suddenly found it laughable. Haley definitely heard what Tyler and I just said. She should know that half of those 2 slaps were for her. Yet she chose to defend Tyler. Haley. I called her by her nickname for the first time since that day. I used to wonder how a man could possibly drive a wedge between us. Now I know. Because you deserve him. With that, I slapped Haley too. Guard your man well. Don't ever break up. Walking out of the amusement park, I suddenly remembered I seemed to have left Eric inside. I called Eric. After he picked up, there was only the quiet chirping of insects in the summer night. I was a bit embarrassed. "Sorry, something came up just now, and I forgot you." Eric laughed. I saw it. Those slaps were really satisfying. I sat on a small flower bed by the roadside, staring boredly at the pebbles. "Eric, I'm going back to Beijing. My major might be better in the north." I didn't finish the sentence. Actually, Tyler was right about one thing. Long-distance relationships are too hard, not to mention, Eric and I weren't even officially boyfriend and girlfriend yet. "Annie, look up." I raised my eyes and saw Eric standing under a streetlight, holding an ice cream cone, smiling at me. My heart slowly lifted, then it started beating fast. Thump thump, thump thump. The next second, Eric's gentle voice drowned out the wind, coming from both the phone and across the small road simultaneously. "I like you. Next year, I'll test into a school in Beijing, so don't worry." My heart skipped a beat, followed by a subtle sweetness spreading bit by bit from my heart. Eric smiled and said, "I was afraid confessing too fast would scare you, but now, it seems I have to." My face flushed rapidly, and I turned away, muttering, "I didn't mean to force you to leave here." "Yeah, you didn't force me. I'm doing it voluntarily." Eric took my hand, avoiding the crowded front gate. We talked a lot. Life plans, expectations for the future, even downstairs at Aunt Karen's. We still had more to say. Before parting, I still said, "Eric, don't make life decisions because of me." The wind gradually stopped. The colorful spiral light of the corner barbershop made me dizzy. Eric nodded. "Don't worry, I won't." After that, I returned to Beijing and busied myself with graduate school prep. In the blink of an eye, it was the Mid-Autumn Festival. Eric was busy applying for grad school and couldn't go home. I was in Beijing, busy as a bee too. I didn't have a chance to see him. I thought we wouldn't meet. That evening, I suddenly received a call from Eric. "I'm at the airport." I paused. Which airport? The airport in Beijing. It had rained in Beijing a few days ago, and today it had just cleared up. Dry heat filled the air, but I couldn't suppress the restlessness in my heart. I hurriedly put on clothes. "I'll come pick you up." "No need," Eric said. "Just wait for me nicely at school." My roommates had heard about my previous experience and clamored to see Eric. So, in the twilight just as the sun dipped below the horizon, Eric walked out of the crowd toward me holding a bouquet of flowers. Under the scrutiny of my roommates, the dorm leader's eyes went round. "Holy crap, so handsome." "Everyone, retreat. Leave kissing time for the couple." She shouted that quite loudly. Eric heard it from afar and was amused. I touched my nose awkwardly. "Don't mind them. They like to joke." Eric hummed, handed me the flowers, then lowered his head and kissed me on the lips. My face exploded red instantly. This was the school gate. Were those teachers from Eric's school behind us? There were so many students around who knew me. Eric kept it brief, patting my head at the end. "Missed you." Holding the flowers, I stood frozen, stammering, Me too." The dorm leader ran over grinning. "Handsome, we gave you time. Why was the kiss so short? Do you know who our Annie is? Top scholar, beautiful and kind, popular. Suitors line up from here to Antarctica. Ask around, who doesn't know her?" As she spoke, students coming out to buy food or pick up packages started cheering. A few junior male students even blushed and shouted, "Senior Annie, we like you too." Eric smiled. "Sorry, I confessed earlier than you. Your senior Annie likes me now." The crowd gradually dispersed. I turned my head and saw Tyler standing in the back. They seemed to have come as a team. Tyler stood alone in a deserted spot, smoking. I remembered he didn't smoke before. I looked away and asked Eric, "Why didn't you tell me you were coming?" Eric said, "Tyler is here. I didn't want to upset you. And didn't you have things to do tonight?" "Yeah, then let's do our own things. I'll find you when I'm done." Okay. I finished early. At 8 p.m., I went to their hotel. As soon as I entered, someone grabbed my wrist and dragged me out. Before I could stand steady, the smell of alcohol hit me. Tyler was drunk, and the look in his eyes was scary. "Annie, do your parents know you're throwing yourself at him like this?" I asked. "Throwing myself at what?" "Knowing him for a few months and rushing to sleep with him. Isn't that throwing yourself at him?" Tyler's voice was loud, making everyone look over. Yet he didn't know restraint. "He doesn't know you inside out like I do. Annie, you'd be better off with me than him." I kicked him hard. I used brute force. There was a dull thud, watching Tyler bend over in pain. I dialed my parents' number and put the phone in front of Tyler. "Here, call my parents. Tell them I want to sleep with my boyfriend. But you won't let me because you think I should sleep with you." I even dialed his parents' number myself and put it on speaker. "After calling mine, call yours. Their son is rushing to destroy someone else's relationship. They should know too." Tyler looked terrible, head down, breathing heavily, saying nothing. The anger I had held back for so long finally exploded. I grabbed his hair and shouted, "Call. Don't make me look down on you." Tyler looked at the flashing number on the screen but couldn't press the dial button in the end. I let go of his hair and cursed coldly. "Coward. Where do you get the confidence to think I'm dating Eric to spite you? Your meager finances. Your lackluster brain. Looking at it now, your EQ is pretty low too." The automatic doors nearby slid open silently. "Annie." Eric stood there holding a bag of hot fried cakes. "Calling me." Tyler wiped the dust off his face, stood up wordlessly, and walked toward Eric. "I treated you like a damn brother. And this is how you treat me." Eric easily dodged the punch thrown at him. Tyler fell to the ground. Eric opened the plastic bag for me, smiling. "Tyler, whose brother's with you?" Tyler fell dizzily, and the professor coming out behind them saw it. He squinted. "Tyler, have you been drinking? Don't you know there's a seminar tonight? What is this behavior?" Eric acted like it had nothing to do with him, unscrewing a bottle of water for me. "Eat a little less. There's more food later." Tyler was dragged away by the professor for a lecture. After walking far away, I laughed out loud. "Why did you trip him just now? Careful he doesn't sue you." Eric couldn't help smiling. "Won't happen next time." "By the way, did Tyler and Haley break up?" "They did. Tyler initiated it." I nodded and said nothing more. The topic was quickly passed over and wasn't mentioned again all night. This counted as my first date with Eric. No one interrupting. Just a date for the two of us. Luck wasn't great today. The movie started half an hour late. By the time it ended, it was almost midnight. Eric and I walked hand in hand along the tree-lined path. The dappled lights were dimmed by the tree shadows. Neither of us spoke. "Near the school," I said. "I missed curfew." "Yeah, I know." Eric's voice was a bit tight. His palm was a bit hot too. I brought my ID. Saying this, my palm sweat from nervousness. Eric looked straight ahead. "I reserved a room for you just now." My face turned red instantly. "Oh, I see." The atmosphere became instantly awkward. We held hands all the way back to the hotel. After getting my key at the front desk, Eric walked me to the door. "I'm right across from you. Call if you need anything." After opening the door, I turned to look at the person still standing there and called, "Eric, didn't you say to call if I needed anything?" Eric smiled. "Do you need anything?" I took a step back. Eric stopped smiling. A few seconds later, he walked up and kissed me. Unlike the brief kiss at the school gate, this one was aggressive. He pushed me into the room and closed the door. Darkness colored the kiss differently. Hot breaths mingled, desperate for oxygen. Until a certain moment, bang, it ignited. Sparks flew before my eyes. Eric rested his forehead against mine, his voice hoarse. "I've waited a long time for this day." "Which day?" "The day I could kiss you freely." Through his white shirt, I felt Eric's frantic heartbeat. It pounded against my palm like madness. I wanted to say something, but Eric shushed me and hugged me tight. "Quiet. Just give it a moment." I wrapped my arms around his neck and slowly buried my head in his chest. "Eric, what's next?" Eric took a deep breath. "Saying that at a time like this, how long do you think I can hold back?" Sensing my stiff body, Eric smiled and turned on the entryway light. "Sleep early. I'm leaving." This time, I didn't dare call him back. Early the next morning, I was woken up by a phone call. A strange voice mocked me. "Annie, have you no shame? How did Haley wrong you that you had to steal her boyfriend?" Just waking up, I hazily heard Haley crying on the other end. Before I could ask what was going on, the other party hung up. When I went downstairs for breakfast, I ran into Tyler and Haley. Haley looked haggard, tugging at Tyler's sleeve, crying. She had obviously rushed overnight. Tyler, you said you'd be with me. Tyler frowned impatiently. You broke up with me yourself. Forgot. Haley's expression went blank. She turned abruptly to look at me. 2 lines of tears rolled down. The girl who came with her rushed over and shoved me. You're Haley's best friend, right? Haley treated you as a good friend, yet you guilt-tripped her into breaking up with Tyler, only to get a room with him at a hotel yourself. If I don't expose you, I'll change my last name to yours. Haley bit her lip. Mia, forget it. Don't do this. Mia shook off her hand angrily, full of righteous indignation. Don't be afraid. With me here, no one can bully you. In this girl, I saw a shadow of my former self. Years ago, I also fought with people for Haley. Only later did I learn that weak people aren't always kind. They can also be stupid and malicious. Mia took out her phone, scared. I've already put you online. Scum men and cheap women belong in the trash. I looked at Haley with a faint smile. Is that what you told her? Haley was as cowardly as ever. Sorry, Annie, I couldn't stop her. I looked at Mia. Did you know Haley urged me to confess, and on the day of the confession, she got together with Tyler? Mia looked cold. You think I'd believe that? Where's the proof? Indeed, Haley had a habit of making voice calls. There were no chat screenshots to serve as evidence. However, Haley had ordered the flowers for my confession, and I happened to have the florist's WeChat. The owner had sent me screenshots of his chat with Haley to confirm. Your friend ordered flowers for you but wants to write someone else's name. You sure can't reach her, so I'm asking you. In the screenshot, Haley stated the purpose of the flowers. It was for a friend's confession. The note read, Tyler, I like you. Mia fell silent. By now, the post had gained traction. Insults flooded in, and people soon dug up my school. I looked at Haley coldly. Without this screenshot, all the cyberbullying would have fallen on me. Haley, is what she said true? Faced with MIA's questioning, Haley panicked. I'm sorry, I just didn't want you to hate me. Haley always had excuses to absolve herself. Mia choked, then asked me, even so, you can't hook up with Tyler in a hotel. Just then, netizens answered the question for me. Did you guys get the wrong person? Senior Annie was kissing her boyfriend at the school gate yesterday. Honestly, her boyfriend is way more handsome than Tyler. Can't see a reason for her to hook up with Tyler. Eric appeared nearby and called me. Annie, what's wrong? Seeing Eric, Mia was dumbfounded. Senior Eric. Eric hummed, pulled me close, and asked, why are you here? Her gaze darted between Eric and me. Realizing her mistake, she stammered, nothing, just a little misunderstanding. Eric saw the people present and understood. His tone turned cold instantly. Tyler, why is your mess with your ex-girlfriend still bothering Annie today? I recall Annie rejected you more than once. Right. Tyler looked ashen. Yes. Mia looked confused. Why did Haley say you forbid her from dating Tyler? I smiled. I cut ties with them long ago. Haley insisted I be her friend before she would continue dating Tyler. So this has nothing to do with you. Mia realized. She brought it on herself. As Eric and I left, Mia was yelling at Haley, who are you crying for? Don't take me for a fool. I sat on a train all night with you, and you lied to me like this. I sighed and asked Eric, you know her? Yeah, journalism major. Haven't learned the basics yet, but already trying to play hero. Eric squeezed my hand. Let's wait for her to clarify things before reporting it to the school teachers. Mia wrote well. Her vivid storytelling caused quite a stir online. Many netizens commented, someone stupid and bad like that should be avoided at all costs. You guys are pitiful, all deceived by her. Because of this, Haley was called in for a talk by school teachers. She became depressed and her grades plummeted. Tyler, due to talking back to the professor while drunk, had his admission offer revoked by his desired mentor. On the day I received a call from my parents. I also received my graduate school acceptance letter. Tyler is in trouble. What happened? Crossing the street, his foot got run over by a car. He's in surgery. The doctor says he might be permanently disabled. It happened suddenly, and I was busy with enrollment materials, so I wasn't in the mood to ask much. Later, talking to my parents, I learned Tyler was pushed by Haley. Tyler's parents wanted to sue, but it turned out Tyler struck first. They had no legal ground. I didn't know the rest. Their lives had nothing to do with me. That day, Eric landed in my city. The afternoon was warm, autumn stretching long. I ran out of the taxi, the wind messing up the hair I had spent so long styling. Eric held a black suitcase, leaning lazily against a stone bollard by the road, his long legs crossed casually, waving at me. Girlfriend, long time no see. Epilogue. Years after graduation, Eric and I took time out of our busy schedules to return to our hometown. Hearing this, the class monitor insisted on organizing a reunion, so that night, I saw Tyler and Haley again. Actually, at first, I didn't recognize Tyler. He was very different from back then. Wearing a suit and tie, sweating profusely, he limped into the room, handing out business cards to everyone. Oh my, CEO Tyler, where are you working now? If the monitor hadn't teased him, calling him CEO, I wouldn't have recognized him as Tyler. Tyler looked awkward. Real estate agency, just scraping by. If you need anything, find me, I can give a discount. Everyone fell silent. These days, real estate wasn't doing well. The agencies in the small town had mostly closed down. Tyler saw Eric and me. After hesitating, he spoke. You and Eric stayed in Beijing. Yeah, I responded politely but didn't say much. The monitor, however, spilled everything about us like pouring beans. Annie and Eric are special. They have their own company. Heard they made quite a lot these years. Tyler looked even more awkward. From start to finish, he kept his head down, drinking sullenly. Haley was busy fiddling with her phone, looking dazed. A female classmate next to me saw me staring at her and quickly stopped me. I know you two used to be close, but I advise you not to worry. The last person who stood up for her got screwed over bad. I paused. How so? Last year, Haley borrowed $200,000 from a friend for a man. Later the man ran off. The friend got sick, and Haley couldn't pay it back. She just watched her friend get worse until her family took her to the provincial capital for treatment. Ungrateful wretch. Love-brained idiot. Whoever helps her gets unlucky. How do you know this? Tyler said it. I nodded, not asking for details. My feelings were mixed. Midway through the gathering, I went to the restroom and stepped into the backyard for fresh air. Annie, Tyler's voice came from behind. I stiffened, ready to leave. Tyler quickly said, don't be afraid, I just wanted to talk to you. I have nothing to talk to you about. Seeing my lack of interest, Tyler rushed to say, I regret it. If I could do it over, I definitely wouldn't choose to be with Haley. If not for that day, if it were you, maybe today he spoke fast, afraid I wouldn't hear his confession if he was a second late. I stopped, turning to look at him. Tyler, do you think your life is like this just because of a wrong relationship? Ignoring Haley hiding in the corner eavesdropping, I said, your grades, life plans, abilities, IQ, and vision are far more important than who you dated. You are unhappy because you are unhappy, not because others brought misfortune upon you. Haley owes you nothing, and don't blame everything on women. A classmate told me just now that Haley's miserable life these years was largely due to Tyler's revenge. Unwilling to accept that his fate was ruined by Haley, he desperately spread gossip about her, wanting her to have no place to stand. Someone knocked on the window. The party was breaking up. I left the silent Tyler and turned away, passing Haley. She seemed to want to say something to me. I ignored her, walked through the private room, and left with the group. Night had fallen. Eric held my bag and coat, waiting for me under the streetlight. Seeing me approach, he offered his arm for me to hold. Smiling, he said, Haley said she wanted to apologize to you. Did you see her? Saw her. Ignored her. I pursed my lips, feeling a bit low. Unknowingly, we walked to the high school gate. Many years had passed. The scenery remained the same. A dilapidated pushcart covered with a tarp was parked in the corner. That was the snack stand Haley and I frequented most. After all these years, it was still here. Eric patted my head, thinking of the past. Yeah, the day before high school graduation, I tripped giving Eric the trophy. Haley was waiting for me at the school gate with 2 skewers of roasted chicken wings. She was raised by her grandmother back then and didn't have much pocket money. Seeing me limp out, she took out all her change, ordered Tyler to buy disinfectant, and insisted he buy the best kind. Her nervous look made Tyler frown. When leaving, she practically had "you two should just get married" written on her face. That was the last time we met during high school. After that day, we each ran toward our own futures. Later, after experiencing some unpleasant things, we became strangers. Why do people change? Eric said, the older people get, the more they understand what they want. Maybe she suddenly realized you weren't important to her anymore. The wind blew, scattering Eric's words into the boundless night. I pouted and whispered, that was the last time I helped her. Okay, the last time. I pulled Eric toward the distance again. Our conversation dissolved in the wind. Eric, when did you realize what you wanted? I always knew. How do you know I wasn't the one secretly crushing on someone for many years? But we almost missed each other. Doesn't matter. I would always find my way to you.